Hey folks, welcome back. This video is going to be a bit more blunt than normal because the topic deserves it. If you've been ignoring notices from the Oklahoma Tax Commission, let's talk about where that road leads. The OTC does not stop. Their system is built to escalate automatically. When a notice goes unanswered, it triggers the next step in the enforcement chain. There is no scenario where ignoring the notices causes the OTC to move on to someone else and forget about you. That's just not how it works. Your balance is growing every day you wait. Interest accrues from the original due date of the tax. Penalties stack on top of that. If your original liability was $5,000, after a year or two of interest and penalties, you could easily be looking at $7,000, $8,000 or more. That growth doesn't stop until the balance is paid. Every day of delay is money out of your pocket. You're losing your right to dispute as well. Most OTC notices come with a deadline to contest the amount or raise objections. When you ignore those deadlines, the assessment becomes final. Once it's final, your ability to challenge the underlying amount is severely limited. I've had people come into my office convinced the OTC's number is wrong, but because they ignored the notice for 6 months or longer, the window to dispute it is actually closed. Now they're stuck fighting uphill to reopen something that could have been addressed easily at the beginning. Enforcement's also coming. We've talked about this in previous videos, but it's worth repeating this in this context. Wage garnishments, bank levies, tax liens. These aren't empty threats the OTC includes in letters to scare you. They do happen, and they happen on a timeline that's often faster than people expect. The OTC can garnish your wages and levy your bank account without going to court. By the time you realize the garnishment is real, money is already missing from your paycheck. Your credit also takes a hit. A tax lien is a public record. It shows up on credit checks and stays there until it's released. If you're planning to buy a home, refinance, lease commercial space, or apply for business financing, an OTC tax lien is going to be a major obstacle. It can also affect your professional life. Depending on your profession, an unresolved state tax debt can impact professional licenses, state contracts, and business relationships. Certain industries and licensing boards check for outstanding tax obligations. So what should you do if you've been ignoring notices? Start now. Pick up the phone. Call a tax professional to assess your situation. The OTC is generally more willing to work with taxpayers who come forward and engage them than with taxpayers they've had to chase. You may still face penalties and interest for the period you were out of compliance, but the enforcement actions can often be prevented or reversed once you demonstrate you're willing to resolve the debt. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.